Hello, xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Ngày hôm nay chúng ta sẽ đến với 3 giải đấu giữa BO3. Về giải trận đấu này chúng ta sẽ đến với trận đấu đầu tiên giữa Spirit và đội tuyển Elevate. Với một lượt trận đấu đầu tiên, chúng ta thấy cái tỷ số phần trăm thắng giữa team Spirit sẽ lên đến là 64% và 0% cho Elevate. Elevate thì mình không đánh giá cao, tại vì là cái trận đấu này, cái đội tuyển này họ không có phần trăm tỷ lệ chiến thắng ở trong này. Cái hệ số và phân tích ở trong cái bảng biểu đồ đấu thì chúng ta không có cái thống kê rõ ràng về trận đấu này. Còn đối với Spirit thì chúng ta sẽ thấy họ đang đứng xếp hạng ở vị trí thứ 3 trên bảng biểu đồ. Họ chỉ đứng sau là Vitalis và Fazet. Và cái số lượng đội tuyển đứng phía sau sẽ có Navi, G2 và Mau các bạn nhé. Và cái trận đấu đầu tiên chúng ta sẽ đến với Spirit sẽ là sau 6 phút nữa. Các bạn có thể là chờ xem cái trận đấu này. Chúng ta sẽ đến với trận đấu của chúng ta sẽ có 3 lượt trận đấu. Thì vào ngày mùng 8 tháng 3 chúng ta sẽ có là Spirit này với Elevate. Vào ngày mùng 9 rạng sáng ngày mùng 9 tháng 3 chúng ta sẽ có những lượt đấu giữa Cloud 9 và Show các bạn nhé. Với đội đấu là Cloud 9 thì chúng ta sẽ gặp nhau ở 2 giờ 30. Đối với trận đấu giữa Nexus Gaming thì chúng ta sẽ gặp nhau ở 0 giờ. Và có những đội tuyển ở phía 0 giờ chúng ta sẽ có là Big gặp Cameragon với 0 giờ. Và trận đấu này chúng ta sẽ livestream ở trong 2 trận đấu thôi, đó là Cloud 9 vào 2 giờ 30 và bây giờ sau 6 phút nữa chúng ta sẽ gặp là Team Spirit với Elevate. Cái lượt tỷ số này nếu như mà dự đoán về cái hình thức tỷ số thì mình sẽ thiên hướng về Spirit, họ sẽ thắng trắng là 2-0. Vì thứ nhất là cái lượt trận đấu này nếu ai thua họ sẽ bị loại ngay ngoài vòng và họ sẽ đến tiếp theo với lượt trận đấu gọi là bán kết của vòng thứ của bảng xếp hạng A các bạn. Nếu như chúng ta thấy cái bảng xếp hạng thống kê thì chúng ta thấy là Spirit họ có 4 trên 5 trận đấu chiến thắng gần đây nhất. Còn đối với Elevate thì họ lại thua 4 trận. Nếu về so những cái map đấu đã chơi ở trong 6 map hiện tại thì mình nghĩ nếu mà trận đấu này gặp Spirit thì chúng ta sẽ có những cái map đấu ví dụ như là Mirage này hoặc là Anubis, Overpass. Overpass sẽ được pick bởi đội là Elevate. Còn Mirage và Noob thì mình sẽ nghĩ là được pick ở trong của thằng Spirit các bạn ạ. Xin chào tổng số bạn là đang xem nhé các bạn. Đối với Glass Premier thì chúng ta sẽ sẽ thấy là tổng số giải thưởng lên đến là 135.000 đô. Nó quá là nhiều. Chúng ta có thể là nhìn thấy cái số lượng giải đấu trước đó. Vào ngày thứ Tư, ngày 21 tháng 2 thì Spirit họ đã chiến thắng 2-0 trước Heronic. Đối đầu với Mao thì họ lại bị thua 2-0. Còn đối đầu với Australis thì họ lại thắng 1-0 các bạn. Còn nếu nhìn qua cái hệ số của thằng Elevate thì toàn thua với 4 trên 5 trận đấu gần nhất. Thì họ chỉ chiến thắng mỗi là Odedic thôi. Còn đối với khuôn khổ group B với giải đấu BO3 họ có đang thua là 0-2.
Welcome, day 3 of the Blast Premier Spring Showdown 2024. I'm joined with Bubsky again. We're into it, Bubsky. We're in the thick of things. We're getting deep into this tournament. We've seen some teams knocked out. We've seen the quarterfinals starting to shape up. Things looking pretty good so far.
I don't think there's been major upsets. I think we saw yesterday that there's been a lot of teams having a hard time dealing with the jet. Like we saw all the teams coming in from the RMR in North America and actually not being able to make it through to the next stage. So some new names we're gonna see here. OG, Saw, not teams we're usually seeing in the Blast format.
Chúng ta xem lại 3 trận đấu gần đây nhất giữa Liquid gặp Sure thì họ đã bị thua ngược với đội tuyển Liquid. Họ được đánh giá cao hơn rất nhiều và được đoán cái tỷ số là 2-0 thì họ lại đi thua ngược lại so với Sure là 2-1. Với Complexity và Ogre thì Ogre đã có tên tại giải đấu BO3 lần này. Imperial và Mote thì họ đã bị thua trắng là 0-2.
And as Bubsy said, unfortunately for me and some of the Americas fans, all the Americas teams eliminated yesterday. Just sent packing pretty quick. Let's get into the play of the day from yesterday, because we ended the show by showing 3 clips that we had very good individual performances, and obviously we've got to needle that down to just one. To be our play of the day for day 2. This is Hulzerk on Inferno for complexity and that losing effort, but especially on Inferno, he kind of had the impact, Bubsky, that we expected and wanted to see.
He is the player to watch, but even on another scale, we saw Saw also having a star player in the likes of Aradoshi. This is such a crucial moment in the game. They go and lose that Inferno anyway, but like mentally, this game on this round means so much to get that initial good feeling.
Yeah, this was the start of a 5-round comeback to force overtime, and Aradoshi was just a beast all the way through, but this is hands down the best play of the day. Look at this angle. Look at the slim crack. He gets the headshot, and he builds upon it. It's absolutely filthy from Heavy God, and you can see why he's got a lot of excitement building around this guy's play, and a lot of excitement for OG potentially finding a player who can give them some results and start building into it and start, putting forth a better foot than we've seen previously. We'll take a look at the bracket overall for the Showdown so you guys see exactly where we are in the tournament as well. As I mentioned, some of these quarterfinals are coming into view. OG taking on Heroic in quarterfinal 3. I'm starting at the top right for some reason. Saw versus Cloud9, quarterfinal 4. And the number 2 quarterfinal, Monty versus Metasport. And again, back on day 1, we had Metasport with that massive upset over Falcons, eliminating the simple CS2 debut, and just causing havoc in the.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of names that we feel like should go at least into the next round, right? Complexity, Liquid,
Đối với lượt trận đấu này thì nếu như ở bên phía Spirit họ không nhường thì sẽ hệ số là 2-0 và các bạn là xem rất là chán. Đối với hiệp đấu đầu tiên, cái map đầu tiên, cái hệ số tài xỉu nó lên đến là 18.5. 18.5 và mình luôn tin tưởng Spirit với hiệp đấu đầu tiên này và các bạn nên đi cái hệ số là xỉu hiệp 1 các bạn nhé.
Pickers are happy. So a couple people, myself, I'll just say that, and Launders both getting 2 steals for the day. I chose to steal both of mine from James Banks.
I saw Harry was on a rough in the first couple of days, so I just tried to follow the pack and try to get him out, but it didn't really work. So I stole one from him, but I'm gonna be sitting on a sweet 7 in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, and I'm at the top of the totem pole. It's great. These are the predictions for today that we have. No one going for that elevate prediction. Everyone's happy with that. Gamer Legion Big is gonna throw some things into the mix, and myself, Harry, and Hugo all getting a little bit swayed by Saw to take on Cloud9 later on today.
Yeah, I think it's also gonna be the most 50-50 game. Initially, the 2 last ones, right? We speak about the first one, but I think it's gonna be a field day for Dunk and the rest of the guys. But the next 2-1 is gonna be really close. I would assume both of them to go into free maps at this point.
Yeah, could be interesting. Spirit versus Elevate is going to be our first matchup. Before we dive too deep into it, we got to sit down with Magix. We sent James Banks out into the wild to have a talk with the Spirit player.
Magix, Spirit had a great start to the year. If we look at Katowice, we look at qualifying for the major. But I wanted to just find out, what has Spirit been doing since then? Did you actually take some break time? Have you just continued practice? What's it been looking like for Spirit?
Well, yeah, right after the armor qualifier, we had some day offs, like around a week, a little bit less. So,
Nice.
yeah, and those was the days when I was not playing a game at all. So once it ended, we started to practicing, playing a lot, as we did before, and that is what we are still doing before the major starts.
Very nice. Now, I can see you're in the Spirit offices right now, but it's only some of you, and then everyone else is at home. But you're also playing your first online game since the 7th of December 2023. Does it change anything for you?
Not really, because it's like, I mean, everyone is preparing for the LAN tournaments, and so you have to be focused on this more, and you can have an approach of practicing going into the online tournaments, and that's what I hope to keep.
And what I think is very interesting about Spirit is no matter which opponent you go up against, we see the same concentration, the same focus, the same level. So even with you going against Elevate, I'm not worried that you guys would underestimate them or anything. But is this a team in any way you expect can challenge you? Is there something you look at and think, okay, they're a bit different to what we normally face, being a lower down North American team?
Well, it's definitely a new thing to play against NA position, because we have had some practice before against other teams from the NA who's been boot camping or something in Europe, and is the opponent which is bringing you some weird stuff you are not usually used to see, so you have to be ready, have to be prepared for this, and to not get lost, to stay concentrated throughout the game against those enemies.
So just talking about needing to stay focused, needing to stay on top of their game, and not get caught off guard by too much craziness and shenanigans, we'll call it. Here's the Spirit lineup that we all kind of know and appreciate. And obviously, the crazy thing, Bubsky, is Donk's getting so much attention, but guys like, obviously, Shiro's even getting overshadowed, which is pretty wild to think about. But everyone else on the team, Zontix, Magix, Chopper, feel like they're all playing really solid as well. This is a well put together
it's hard to
team.
pinpoint what is their weakness, right? I would assume that it's their tactical ability. Yeah, exactly.
Vertigo
as well. And I think it's funny, we're looking into the right side of things. Sontex, he recently said in a vlog that you go on his HLTV profile and you look at, he has like 30% headshot rate, and you're like, what the hell? A guy with so good statistics as a rifler. And then you go into like a vlog where he says, yeah, he doesn't really go for the head. He just tries to kill people as fast and easy in the stomach. And it's such a unique thing, because we talk about constantly players being around and trying to go for those one taps and see the really high headshot percentages. So it's a unique approach from a new player.
Well, it's also like we used to make memes about that with the old like Astralis lineup, right? Like just aim for the chest, don't aim for the headshot. It used to be like a running joke when Astralis was in their prime, and now it's like, oh, okay, this guy's actually making it not a joke all of a sudden. Regardless, Spirit's looking good, and I think, if Katowice showed the peaks that they could be at, the RMR maybe showed a couple of cracks and a couple of weaknesses that can be targeted a little bit. Vertigo being one of those picks as well, a map that teams were really able to, especially Astralis, able to shut down Donk on as much as humanly possible, and really kind of challenge them down the stretch. But I still have to imagine, going into the major, you would have Spirit. Do you have them as like one of the favorites to win it? Maybe like one of the top 3 teams to win?
Yeah, I do, but the thing is that they're so reliant on this guy, and it can be super positive because he's shown that he's capable of carrying that responsibility, right? But he's so dominant in the ways of taking duels and is always the first point of contact. If he has an off game, he will just give entry kills. We've not seen it yet, and I don't think we're going to see it in the near future. But he is going to be reliant for a lot of responsibility when it comes to making the games. He can coin flip the game, but he always lands on hits. So he's always got his game prepared.
Yeah, he can be a tough player to control. Let's take a look at the team that we're facing off against, Elevate, as well. The North American side of things, just recently picked up by an organization. Not a whole lot to like really talk them up, especially in a matchup like this. That's such a disparity. Number 3 in the world, Spirit, versus number 58 in the world. And on top of that, if you go back to recent results, this is a team that got 0-2'd at the Americas RMR, lost to Complexity 6-13, and lost to Odic 1-2 in a series to be.
Let's be honest about these guys, right? They're not coming to go and win against Team Spirit, but they're playing for the respect of it, right? They're trying to make a game. They may be gonna go for one map in an entire series against the likes of Spirit, and then they're gonna be happy. It's gonna be an interesting journey for a team who's relatively unknown on this stage, but I would be surprised if they're gonna get double digits on any.
Chúng ta sẽ đến với pick ban ở trong cái lượt này. Vertigo được pick, Miragai được pick và Overpass sẽ được pick ở trong 3 cái map đấu này. Và cái map đầu tiên đó là Vertigo các bạn nhé. Lượt đấu ban pick này thì mình có đánh giá cao 2 lượt đầu tiên đối với Spirit. Ok, map đấu đầu tiên Vertigo, chúng ta sẽ chuẩn bị được xem cách đánh của hai đội. Chúng ta sẽ xem là Spirit họ sẽ ép tấn công đầu tiên luôn, hay là chúng ta sẽ thấy một Elevate họ sẽ thoát được khỏi cái ách thống trị của thằng Spirit các bạn. Và một lượt trận đấu được chờ đợi hơn vào khoảng là 2 giờ 30 phút theo giờ Việt Nam sẽ có là Cloud 9 và Sure. Thì đây là lượt trận đấu mình thấy là một đội thì họ đã rất là mạnh rồi, còn một đội thì họ lại vượt được qua những cái đội mạnh khác được đánh giá là cao hơn họ rất nhiều, và bây giờ họ đã đứng trong vị trí là bán kết của bảng Group A hiện tại trong thời điểm này. Và chúng ta nên biết là cái áp lực mà đã đánh ở trong cái Group A này đó là 1 chọi 1. Chỉ cần các bạn thua thì là sẽ bị loại ra khỏi vòng các bạn nhé. Chúng ta có thể là vào xem cái tỷ số ván đầu tiên là ván thứ nhất. Chúng ta sẽ có hệ số tài xỉu là 18.5. Cái hệ số chấp là lên đến là hơn 8.5 các bạn nhé. Ván 1 trận chấp này, chấp trận lên đến là 8.5. Nếu như các bạn chọn Spirit, nếu như các bạn tin tưởng vào họ và họ có thể làm có một cái trận đấu ép sân thì mình vẫn khuyến khích các bạn là vào trong 8.5. Còn hiệp đấu thứ hai thì họ sẽ thả hơn một chút và cũng có thể là họ sẽ chiến thắng là 2-0, nhưng mà hiệp đấu thứ hai họ sẽ thả. Và hiệp đấu thứ hai thì các bạn nên chọn là đánh tài. Còn đối với hiệp đấu đầu tiên thì chúng ta sẽ chọn là đánh xỉu thôi. Xỉu là 18.5. Bây giờ nó đang hạ xuống là 17.5 rồi các bạn. Lúc mà chưa vào trận đấu thì nó đang có hệ số là 18.5. Còn đối với bây giờ thì nó chỉ còn là 17.5 mà thôi. Cho dù nó có xuống 16.5 đi nữa thì chúng ta vẫn khuyến khích chọn là ở phía xỉu, vì trận đấu đầu tiên chắc chắn Spirit họ sẽ đối đầu và họ sẽ trực diện để đánh thẳng với Elevate.
Chances do Elevate have? What's the barometer we're looking at here?
0
What's successful?
Of 6 rounds.
Okay.
6 rounds in a BO3. Harry, I'll be impressed. I'll be impressed. Like, at the end of the day, I have full expectation of Spirit. GG Bet have full expectation of Spirit. You should have full expectation of Spirit. Now, I'll give you something, Elevate fans. I'll give you a morsel.
Okay.
It's Vertigo. Their map pick, 100% win rate, good domestic results, and the one that we have seen Spirit struggle on. But struggle is relative, Harry. This is the number 3 team in the world. This is the Katowice Championship. This is Donk. Spirit ain't here to mess around. Spirit ain't here to mess around. They're here. Falcon's gone. The route is open for Spirit, and I don't for a second feel Elevate can stand in the way.
Yeah, I really like that. Spirit, they've got a path paved, and Elevate are just one more team in the way, in between them and that run to London.
Ok, chúng ta sẽ đến với hiệp đấu đầu tiên. Bên phía đội phía màu xanh thì chúng ta sẽ thấy sự hiện diện ra mắt của Elevate, còn bên phía đội màu đỏ thì chúng ta sẽ thấy là Spirit. Bên phía Spirit họ đang muốn ép sân và chiếm và đặt bom luôn. Bên Spirit họ đã có mạng hạ gục giữa San rồi các bạn. Và bây giờ là 5 vs 4. Ok, chiến thắng đầu tiên chúng ta đã thuộc về Spirit. Như mình đã nói thì cái trận đấu đầu tiên họ sẽ ép sân, và cái hệ số thắng đầu tiên giữa hai trận đầu tiên thì chúng ta sẽ có cái mã Big Bet giữa Spirit, họ sẽ chiến thắng 2 bàn đầu tiên.
RNG included. So the run was really cool, and the opportunity is great, but we also haven't even touched on their lack of a full roster, right? We've got a German inside of this team, Mr. C9. So we're still representing America somewhat, but yeah, it's a shame because Dia was the star of this team, is the star of this team, and was unable to leave the US. So statistically outlier from the rest of the roster. An AWPer, the most important role in the game, and he's unable to not only make it to the RMR, where Elevate fell short, but he's unable to attend this event as well. So bit of a shame for Elevate.
We were having a little look as well at MRC or Mr. C9. I don't know which one of the two it is. Well, MRC. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you know, when we were taking a look, we wanted to see, because obviously he's from Big Academy at one point, and was hopeful that maybe he could don that AWP, but he has more Mach 10 kills than he does AWP kills, so I doubt it's him. So 5 rifle core here for Elevate. Maybe he is Mr. C9. He's followed in their footsteps with a full rifle team here.
That is a good one. Yeah. Look, this is a learning experience for Elevate. They're going to get some rounds to play against one of the best teams in the world, and I think that's great experience. We all need to get beat to learn. And I am framing this pretty brutally, but I actually have no regrets.
Is that the mindset your parents brought you up with?
No. I never learned, Harry. I fought back and will Elevate in this gun round because contact in middle.
New Jollibee crunchy chicken sandwich.
Pushing in forward in the front of the B bomb site, but that smoke is down. Boost up in middle for Magix. Shane, Spotlight.
Magix will fall. There's a reply at a donk. Shane up close, gonna flick back and find them both. Chopper and Zontix on the receiving end of this double push over towards the top of B ramp. Elevate might be onto something here. This could be their first round when the rifles have come out to play. It's Donk and Shiro left to beat, so, you know, you can hold your breath for a moment. They get given 1 kill over towards ramp. Peeping gives it a
Mới là vấn đề.
Đối phương thì đã quay trở lại hết 3 người khu bom side B rồi. Đong thì chuyển cho mình sang khẩu AWP vì anh chàng này đã yếu máu. Và để xem nào có vượt khó được đến từ các player bên phía team Spirit hay không, khi mà tham minh chỉ còn khoảng 10 giây thôi. Vẫn còn một người đứng ở khu vực cột và không có cơ hội nào dành cho team Spirit trong giao chiến đấu này. 1-2 dành cho Elevate.
Đây rồi. Chúng ta đã được nhìn thấy bên phía của Elevate họ giữ cái bom side B như thế nào. Rất tuyệt vời. Có vẻ những gì chúng ta đánh giá đội tuyển này yếu thôi. Cũng chưa chắc đã đúng đâu Dũng ạ. Chưa chắc đã đúng đâu. Khi mà ra thi đấu vừa rồi chúng ta có thể thấy được là những cái setup.
On the up and up, right? It was like they're always playing. No, hear me out, man. You know, think back to Kato. It was like, oh, they beat this team. Now they have to beat this other really good team, and so they were like constantly kind of seeing how far they can push the limits. But this is a game where like they are heavy favorites with absolutely like there's not a bone in your body that looked at this and went Elevate have a chance, you know, like you'd be crazy to think that way.
I see your logic.
And so, you know, Spirit playing with that pressure of like this is a match they have to win.
Đối phương còn một quả lửa rất khó chịu trả ra. Mất tương đối nhiều máu đến từ Chopper và Zontix. Lượng bom mìn trên tay ở các player bên phía team Spirit đang chẳng còn bao nhiêu cả, và nó chỉ còn cho mình đó 2 quả smoke cùng với đó một quả lửa mà thôi. Đây không phải một lượng bom tiêu chuẩn để đánh sai. Tại map thì nó
Chương trình bảng mang kích hướng lên sau anh ta phải nằm xuống bởi vì Showdown. Shane có
the boy wonder that is Donk, and being able to try and say, you know, we got the better of Donk in a few of these rounds. I think that's a high they're going to be able to ride.
Just from these couple of rounds, Elevate don't look like they're playing scared, and there's something to say for that, right? They're making moves, a jump spot at 45 seconds with a double A setup now. Oh, but the spam is problematic. Snap gets pushed all the way back. The molly as well. It's picture perfect for Spirit to get control of the bomb site. Can they find any smoke kills? That would go a long way right now with a bit of spam. Boost up for there. He makes it on top, but so are they. He spots ahead. His is gone, and the bomb doesn't make it down yet. Shiro finally going for the stick. 4-on-4. Missed Molotov by a second on that smoke, and the retake's on.
And that miss molly's annoying. That could have been their route to kickstart this retake. Instead, they've got to do it manual mode. And Donk is here. Full auto up on the short side. Chopper even moving in, and this one is laid to rest quickly and cleanly. It's just Peeping left standing. Chopper does have the knife pulled, and with good reason, maybe. Peeping brings it down to the 1v1.
Okay.
Just Donk left to beat. It's easier said than done, but he's sticking it, and Donk will get him off that bomb. Donk sends his regards. And so a nice try from Peeping, honestly. That was a 1-on-3 attempt. He gets it all the way down to a 1v1, and at that point, you kind of have to stick. That's how he's feeling.
I respect the knife attempt in the smoke as well, I think, you know.
Oh, damn. Chopper's freshly shaved. Not his beard.
You're really his head.
Yeah.
You're really on hair patrol this week, Harry.
I am a little bit. I don't know. It looks nice. It looks really good on him.
Yeah.
Like there's something about it, man. When you've got, the bald look going on, and then you give it that nice, fresh, clean shave.
Yeah.
Very clean. There's no doubt about it. Looks like he could be a secret agent.
Alrighty. Spirit cooking. Going back for a B hit, perhaps. Contact right now, just a molly in, and they're gonna waltz right up front B. MRC up close. They don't clear it, but that's ugly. He almost saved it. 10 health on Shiro. He will get finished off. These pistols come in with a fight. Chopper Mac 10 ready to remove them from the round, though. Peeping with a trade and hopefully an AK to grab. They'll just come swinging. No respect from Spirit and no chance for Elevate. Good eco. 3 kills, but
it looks right, doesn't it? Sorry, I keep going back to the hair thing, but no, that's a good round for just pistols, right? Mostly vanilla pistols at that. Get it down to 2 surviving. You've kept Spirit modest.
Hallie, coach of Spirit, but also player of Spirit. We saw obviously Spirit in the Blast groups at the start of the year in Copenhagen, but unfortunately they didn't have Donk. And they didn't have Magic, so they had Hallie and they had Baz, the academy player standing in. I think Baz played pretty well. He looked solid for another young player, one for the future. And Hallie actually held his own. They got a map v Liquid at that event. They didn't win any series, but that was, it was a write-off really for Spirit at the end of the day. And despite that, they come in with every expectation of making London. As we mentioned yesterday, they're already at the World Finals at the end of the year from winning Katowice. They're going to throw an attempt at the Spring Finals as well. And I say attempt. Who can really stand in their way, Harry, in this bracket? Anyone?
Well, Elevator trying.
Sure.
I want to try and take away this ramp control again. They've mollied off short. So that gives them a bit of a route to do so. Zontix, in the meantime, is working this B control. And even though he checks for Peeping, he's not going to come out ahead in that fight. So nice start here for Elevate. Man advantage taken. Oh, swiftly returned, of course. Smoke spam goes their way, and they spot MRC walking down through short. They're tucked in at the sandbags.
Not ready for this.
There is a molly on Magix, but he plays his hand nice and early here. Will be caught fighting, and so Chopper's going to get that trade. They keep going with the aggro in at ramp, and Magix just collects every one of those kills.
There goes way too early there. He's already lost 2 players on ramp. Spirit, the last thing they're thinking about is a player hiding at sandbags. If he just waits for his teammate who's rotating in, he can swing with him, he can play with him. Maybe he hits the molly, he gets scared, but it was never for the sandbag.
It's like, I don't disagree with him trying to fight that eventually, but you're dead on. I feel like even if it was an extra second, like that's one extra second of waiting, suddenly you're in a way better spot. Because, on the flip side, if he sits there for ages, tries to play the long con, and then just gets mollied, it's like, oh, round over. So he's trying to, play that perfect bit of timing, but, yeah, just a second too soon. Could have been more. And all those moments really are going to prove to matter in a game like this if you're Elevate. This time, Spirit move away from the B lobby entirely.
Ooh, plays being made. MRC coming in on the flank. Snav in the middle of the site. The nade is good, but Spirit have one right back. Everyone battered in this bomb site, and spraying will give them room to get this plant down. It's Magic's on the bomb. They are picking Elevate apart right now.
Fake on the bomb and everything, just oh man, I mean, I feel like most of Elevate's deaths have been through smokes. So kind of give it a bit of a rough end of the deal here. There's that flank coming in. 1 kill from the Deagle, but now it's the only man left to look at, and so everyone is for Spirit. He knows he's going to get pressured here, but the Deagle won't find any more.
Yeah, Spirit playing as a unit right now, just kind of grouping, going for hits. The one round they lost, they attempted a B split, and well, the B component of that didn't go too well. So for the most part, just waltzing up a ramp with very minimal resistance.
It's nice that they have MRC on the boot camp with the gang.
True. In the same boot camp in the UK as Cole were yesterday. And maybe as brief a tenure. As we said, this is the one map where you feel like if Elevate were ever going to make a bit of a ruckus, it would be.
Yeah, it would be now, right?
But at the same time, Spirit know that this has been their weak map, so they've definitely been putting work into it. Not that they're going to reveal whatever, you know.
Yeah, I think it's one of these games where it's like, you know, you just kind of play to the level that's required of you. You don't show anything you don't have to show, not with the major right around the corner.
Yeah.
So you come into this and you want to make it look like you don't have anything special prepared, right? I don't think thus far you've really had to see anything crazy. It has just been a lot of these, you know, slower ramp takes or looks up towards B where they take that control early and go back to it a little bit later in the round. Very standard from Spirit so far. I think it's because they don't feel that pressure to have to bring anything crazy out.
Just playing very grouped. And so at Elevate, 3 on the site. Orp is here. Zontex might just go right under it. Holding for the crane peak. Ollie pushes Elevate back. Spirit more room as well through the smoke. MRC gets his kill. Ugly spray for Donk does get responded onto, and suddenly it's Shiro in a clutch, but we know not to count him out. 1v4. They're everywhere. He can't stick this bomb. He can't get comfortable. Head shown, miss spray. Running out of options now. They're going to start swinging at him. Shiro, every fight in the site, and too many to take. Elevate, surround him, and find their second round on the CT side.
All right, then. Can they build upon that? I mean, you know, the kind of temperature check, the score that we said would feel pretty damn good for Elevate. Not too far from being obtained here. And, you know, I think that's really what we're looking at, is just seeing some promise from the Elevate squad more than anything else. Oh, I like this. Aggro start out of dead, but now he's kind of boxed in. Trapped down towards main, all this util coming out to make life miserable for him, and Shiro takes that angle. Chopper and Shiro work in tandem, and they're going to open up this B-side play.
I like the Elevate feel willing to go for those kind of plays. It's oh my god, peeping.
Hey, what?
Pretty crazy. They line up as well. Zontix is still here, but he gets caught jumping, peeping onto a third. So splendid headshots in the B site for peeping. And Spirit will keep their head down now.
I mean, this was a 5-on-3 for Spirit. They got gifted that double opener over towards ramp, and Peeping has pulled it back single-handedly. Elevate go very split on the defense here. You have Snap over towards mid, who's at least going to be available to like come and help out over towards B, but
của bên phía Team Spirit, bọn họ phải vào B thôi. Chuyện vào B bây giờ sẽ là rất khó khi mà trên tay Chopper chỉ là duy nhất một quả smoke và một quả flash, không đủ đồ để có thể vào B. Bắn nhau chay thôi. Magic cần phải tỏa sáng. Nào, Magic đi trước và Magic cũng chỉ kịp đổi một. Chopper thì quá yếu máu rồi. Đây rất có thể sẽ là round thi đấu chiến thắng thứ 3 dành cho các player bên phía Team Elevate. Đúng là như vậy thật, không có cơ hội nào dành cho Chopper cả. 3-6 dành cho Elevate.
Một round thi đấu giữ B quá tuyệt vời đến từ cặp đôi Snap cùng với cả Pepping. Game nhau của Elevate chuyên nghiệp đấy chứ.
Rất tin tay với những tình huống bắn đến từ Pepping.
Có những khó khăn, Elevate dành tặng cho Team Spirit rồi. Hãy nhìn đi, không phải là một trận thi đấu dễ dàng cho Spirit đâu. Đối thủ của họ mặc dù là một đội tuyển không quá tên tuổi, nhưng những gì mà họ làm ở 2 round thi đấu vừa rồi đang cho tất cả các bạn khán giả được nhìn thấy một bộ mặt rất đáng để kỳ vọng.
Đang có những cái dấu hiệu comeback đến từ Elevate rồi. Round thi đấu tiếp theo thì đội hình của bên phía Team Spirit bọn họ sẽ gặp khó khăn về mặt tài chính. Để xem bọn họ sẽ mua bán như thế nào đây. Chỉ là một tình huống hấp bài từ các player bên phía team Spirit mà thôi. Elevate, nếu bọn họ không mắc những sai lầm thì đây sẽ là con số 4.
Map Vertigo này thì là một map thi đấu mà ở các giải thi đấu trước chúng ta thấy là người đánh kèo trong đội hình của Team Spirit là Dom đang chơi map này không quá tốt, sẽ cần thêm thời gian để tập map Vertigo cho riêng vị trí của Dom. Và map thi đấu này sẽ là map thi đấu mà có cơ hội cao nhất để Elevate có thể làm nên chuyện. Nếu như họ muốn có một kết quả khả quan ở trận B3 này thì họ cần phải thắng map Vertigo.
Nhưng còn sang đến map Mirage thì thôi.
Thôi, Mirage thì là ngôi nhà thứ hai của Dom rồi.
Mirage là ngôi nhà của Team Spirit rồi. Tỷ lệ thắng đang cực kỳ cao của Team Spirit tại map thi đấu Mirage này.
Tình huống này là bên phía của Team Spirit đang muốn bò vào cuộc bom A. Trong bom A có 3 người đang chấn giữ ở đây. 2 người bắn trong A, 1 người sẽ kẹp ở mid. Hệ cũng có động một chút thôi là người ở mid sẽ back về. Đang có tình huống back về đến từ vị trí của C9 rồi. Snap có rồi. 2 mạng cho vị trí của Snap. Đang muốn đặt bom luôn đến với Chopper. Đặt kịp rồi, chắc chắn là như thế. Và đó là cái mạng dành cho vị trí của Đè. Mà Việt có 1 đang muốn đẩy ra bắn luôn rồi. Tất cả của vị trí Pepping có thêm mạng hay không đây? Khẩu đi gồ này chưa thể làm thêm được ai cả. Vẫn đó là cái mạng của MRC này. Mr. C9 à?
Đây, anh chàng Snap. Đây là một người mới của đội hình bên phía team Elevate mà bọn họ bổ sung cho kỳ RMR khu vực NA vừa rồi. Snap đến với vai trò đó là in-game leader của đội hình bên phía team Elevate. Và với việc có cho mình một in-game leader mới thì chắc chắn rồi cái lối chơi của Elevate chắc chắn bọn họ sẽ chưa hoàn thiện ở khoảng thời gian này. Họ cần thêm thời gian. Đó là lý do tại sao mà chúng ta có thể lý giải được đó là Elevate bọn họ thất bại tại giải thi đấu RMR khu vực NA và không có cho mình tấm vé đến với bây giờ. Hệ số 20 mà dừng bước khá sớm. Đến ngày hôm nay bọn họ sẽ có cơ hội để có thể nghĩ cho mình về những điều kỳ diệu trước các player bên phía Team Spirit. Nếu mà
ngay từ những cái khoảng tham binh đầu tiên họ bắt được 2 người, làm yếu đi được vị trí của Dom. Lẽ là những cái lợi thế ở đầu game cũng chỉ đến thế này mà thôi. Đây là những lợi thế đang rất lớn của bên phía team Elevate. Họ đang chỉ để một mình vị trí của C9 là người giữ lại khu bóng xa, có thêm một người nữa backup cho anh ta. Đó là vị trí của hình như là vị trí Snap. Đó là Snap rồi. 2 người ở khu middle. Snap đang muốn back về khu bom side B và một mình C9 ở đây, liệu anh ta có chặn được bước đi của bên phía Team Spirit hay không? Dom đã bỏ được vào đến gần bom side rồi, đang kê khu vực từ mid ra. Và bây giờ thì là một tình huống boost lên đến từ vị trí của Dom. Nào, headshot có người và liệu C9 không check lên rồi. Một quả smoke che đi khu connector và bom sẽ đặt thành công bên phía Team Spirit vào rồi.
3 vs 3 retake dành cho Elevate. Trên người của Snap và Sen cũng là Pepping vẫn còn đồ. Điều tương tự cũng diễn ra đến từ các player bên phía Team Spirit. Đó Siro, anh chàng này còn nết, còn smoke, còn flash. Và để xem nào đội hình của bên phía team đó là Elevate bọn họ có vượt qua được cái họng súng của Siro hay không. Đây Siro có 1 rồi, Snap cũng có cho mình cái mạng của Magic. 2 vs 2. Tham minh của quả C4 thì đang trôi về những giây cuối. Siro có double kill và chỉ còn lại một mình anh chàng Snap yếu máu mà thôi. 2 quả nết rồi vào và không có cơ hội nào dành cho Snap cả. Dong là người kết thúc video thi đấu vừa rồi. Một tình huống 3 vs 4 thành công dành cho Team Spirit. Và tỷ số hiện tại đang là 7-4 dành cho rồng trắng của khu vực CIS.
Shane đã rất cố gắng rồi. Đây, cái tình huống đẩy ra đến từ vị trí Shane đi, anh ta đã giúp cho bên phía của Elevate có quá nhiều lợi thế. Tuy nhiên sau đó thì Spirit họ đánh vào cuộc bom Saya quá trượt bài. Hơi đáng tiếc một chút ở vị trí của C9. Anh ta đứng kê ở headshot và Dom được boost lên, không lộ bất kỳ một tiếng nào cả.
Đó là
rất bất ngờ.
Ở trận đấu vừa rồi Spirit bọn họ bò trượt rất khéo, không để bất lộ bất cứ thông tin nào khu bom Saya dành cho đối phương cả. Round thi đấu này thì là round thi đấu yếu súng từ các player bên phía team Elevate rồi. Dom có 1 trước khi nằm xuống. Nên lợi thế vẫn dành cho các player bên phía team Spirit mà thôi. Một quả pop flash đẹp của Chopper. Siro có cho mình cái mạng hạng mục của Đè.
Opper bên phía Elevate đã nằm xuống rồi. Bây giờ thì bom sai A chỉ đang có một mình vị trí của Snap mà thôi. Đang phải có thêm người về backup. Đó là Pipping. Nào, Pipping hãy làm những gì mà anh đã làm. Như ở đó thi đấu bóng sai B đi, nhưng ở đây vừa nói
It's Snap to fall and Spirit are gunning for 8 on the half here. Just 2 kills away from accomplishing that feat, peeping a dead man as Shane is finished off, so Spirit will go on to find success down the tail end.
Hey guys, it's NHēt T ANH.
Hi guys, I'm Twist from FaZe Clan.
Hello, I am Myth. Hi guys, I'm Hobbit.
And I'm playing the A to Z challenge.
Yeah, let's go. Alex. Adrian.
Alexi B.
AZ.
Brokey.
Myth. B. Body. Boris.
I feel like C should not be difficult.
Cadian.
Cadian.
Cypher. Cajun B. D. Dupree. DJL. Dexter.
Dennis.
Enox. Electronic.
Elish.
E would be Esotag.
Forest.
F. Freiburg. Fur. Fantastica. G. Gade.
Grim.
I'll skip that one. Holzerk.
Halzerk.
Hobbit. I'll skip that one as well. I for IM. Icy.
Oh, M. IM.
I'll skip that as well. JKS.
Jax.
Yeah, JW. J for JT. That's hard. Oh, Cock from the talent team, yeah. K for Carrigan.
Caribou.
K. Kin. Alpha Lux. Leaf.
Man, I really cannot recall any like notable player having L.
I'll skip that as well.
No.
Mezzy. M for MOTM.
Mopaz.
Well, I have to skip it. Can't think of anything.
Naphany.
Nitro. Nerds. Necrogenesis. Oh, it's hard, that shit. That's hard. Oh. There's no way there's someone who wanted O. Oh my god. Oh shit. O for Olaf.
No, I cannot think of that.
OC. Okay, I'll skip it as well. P for Fazy. I don't know how to say his name. PHZY.
Team Spirit leading the charge right now. Elevate, they have impressed us actually. They put up a good few rounds there in that first half. They have some nice kind of early round moves, some cool mid-round decisions, but it's not enough to put a stop to just the raw firepower available on this Spirit squad. There were a couple of rounds down the stretch there where they found themselves with man advantages. They found themselves in what should have been good positions, but Spirit are able to win those sorts of rounds, to turn them on their head.
Yeah.
And so, you know, 4 rounds, I think that's nice for Elevate, but now it's how much can they sweeten the deal?
T-side, they get to pull out some gimmicks, perhaps some cheeky calls, some fakes. We'll see what they've got cooked.
Oh,
it's
I like
B-split.
Yeah. And they've got good util to do it. The Molly Smoke combo.
Oh, Donk stop jumping. Donk solo B. They want to target him. This is pretty common.
Halfway smoke over in mid. Molly to shut down a player playing on the other side of the construction.
Good luck.
Donk is now sandwiched between ramp and mid, and he's got to fight to the death there. And it will come quickly for Donk. There finds him. 4 on 3 in the post plant. Spirit was still scared about a player lurking at ramp. Zontix, this is a super long rotate.
It's a save.
Right. Damn, are you sure?
I mean, they're not going to get fed.
They're going to go like super late. But...
Sure, no kits. And they're playing passive enough that these kills are not coming for free. The bomb's already half ticked. Spirit will throw themselves in, but there would have to be some huge errors to win this round. Kill comes through. MRC in the site. He's just wiggling, and Spirit realizing that this one is too far gone. The hunt will come in, but this is all just for stats, for glory, and for maybe some armor to be saved. It will not. 5 rounds for Elevate. The pistol in their pocket. Yeah, only one player at B, and they find the mid kill with that 4-man mid crunch. So Donk, under a lot of pressure, can only take one with him. And I love how they're all jumping there. Everyone's jumping around corners.
I was just surprised that, like, for Zontix, he's like still paranoid about a ramp player and then doesn't commit to wrapping round. I feel like they could have given themselves a bit more time to attempt that 3v4. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not meant to win it. They're a man down, but just weird. You felt like they'd seen enough players to know that there couldn't be anyone there.
Well, this is the one map in the pool, with the exception of Inferno, Spirit's Instaban, that they could be deemed as uncomfortable on, right? I still want to believe that this is a no questions asked match for Spirit, but with a pistol, clean anti, Elevate, they're showing us something all right. Donk take any with him. Oh! Big Donk!
But I mean, you don't win this, right? 30 HP, you don't win this. That was a cool double kill. Cool collateral.
Reality check. They're just running at him. Come on. What do you got? Nothing. But like, Elevate are running at him, man. They're not scared. Maybe they should be a little bit, but they're not scared. It's not bad. Yeah, welcome to EU, buddy.
Like how it feels to chew 5 gum ad, you know, it's how it feels to get donked, and there's the reaction to it.
Yeah, come on.
I face when I get donked.
Here we go. Aggro B set up by Magix. Donk has his real estate. They will go back to a late B split. Some noise getting made at A by peeping, but this is mid-pressure. Magix just swings in and the headshot comes instantly. I love they use this as a means to an end. They're not trying to mid-rush. They just wanted to kill. Now they can reset and play as a group.
This is a 2-round game, and Spirit, a man down now in their first rifle round.
Getting worried?
Getting intrigued, mate. That's what I'm getting. There's no worry.
More than we expected, I think, already. Or at least for me. They forced some respect out of Spirit in this matchup.
Yeah, and I like even the decision here. I think it would have been so easy to kind of try to get ahead of yourselves there and try to react quickly. But as you said, they weren't like using mid as their play as to where they make their move in the round. They hold early on and they wait to see what the reaction is. They're kind of gauging how much Spirit want to give them there in the 5v4, and they still keep it in their advantage now. Shiro moving over. Gonna move to reinforce this site with Chopper and Donk also alongside him. They flash him in. Chopper dead over on the short side, and so Shiro's got to do this alone. Donk comes through the smoke, but he can't deal with them both, and so Elevate close that gap even further. The money gone now for Team Spirit. A tie game is feeling inevitable right here, right now, as Elevate look to stun everyone.
I love the call, but I do wonder if that molly actually pushed Zontix out. He felt more uncomfortable. He felt like he didn't have room, and he knew they were going to be there, so he just goes for the fight. But I felt like he could have stalled that swing a few more seconds after taking a step back. The molly didn't spread. So it's a small detail, but look at the complication that Spirit get put in right there. Shiro with a lovely spray, but he needed 3 kills. He needed to give Donk the one-on-one. He couldn't pick a target. And now we have an eco. So Elevate, like you said, destined to level it up.
I mean, man, even if you look like big picture outside of this matchup for Spirit, this is something that other teams will be looking at and licking their lips over the idea of, right? Yeah. If they're able to fall down to Elevate here on Vertigo, then anything's possible.
Anything is possible, Harry, and that's why we love Counter-Strike. Ramp control taken. They don't know about the boost yet. It's for the gap side. Oh no, you're checking that? Okay.
Spam damage is great. Pushing up. The ramp is denied as Snap's head's on a swivel. And Shiro is now out of the round 2.
Good nade.
Won't find the low HP Snap, but it does soften up 2 players as they look to move in. Chopper, they're already in the site. They're right here as Deagle's good for 1, but that's it. 2 on 3. Donk trying to make a play through this smoke. He wants to full send it, and the shot is missed. Plant denied for now. Magic's left up in the 1v2. Can he win this? Snap is low on health from earlier on. This was just pistols for Team Spirit. And now they're watching on as Magix is actually left in a doable spot here. He's got a 1v1 on the low HP player, but that was probably his best chance to win the round right there, and it just sailed on past him. Now Elevate look to get out, play around this bomb, play around the defuse. Magix has grabbed an AK, and he just bows out of the round. He doesn't want to attempt it, and so Elevate will tie this game up at 8-all.
Okay. All right.
Not even a full strength Elevate either.
That's crazy. That's a great point. They don't have their highest rated player, their AWPer. Dare, I think it was Dare playing it in the first half. Like, to no impact.
No, it's not like he did anything with it, right? This has largely been 5 rifles for Elevate, and it sees them now with a tie game.
Yes, it does, Harry.
So the plucky NA underdogs with a stand-in to boot and a tie game versus Team Spirit.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Mr. C, you know, MLC, Mr. C9. Like, of all the standings to get, I don't know the relationship with him. They played the RMR with MBG, an American player. This is a German player. Like, I wonder, I feel like you could have gotten someone more, well, you know, someone more experienced, more well-known. But he's holding his own. He's looking good right now. He's playing his role. Great grenade, Spirit here. They've got to make a statement. Come on, this is where you expect a reality check. Aggression on the ramp for Chopper. He hits his. The AWP is out of the gap, and Shiro with the smoke in the way. He can't get this kill. It will fade soon. Options starting to open up. Missed shot for Shiro. He's got to concede. Still a 5-on-4 for Spirit and plenty of utility. They're going to use this molly again to burn out the gap side. Shiro's already back. He's fine. That allows them some more control up ramp. Chopper, delay play. They don't have a molly.
Yeah, they don't have anything to clear him. Nade goes in. You can try spam underneath, but Chopper will go unaccounted for here, unchecked. And so Chopper's in a position where he could win the whole damn round. Flash in at ramp, Shiro continues finding kills, and there's Chopper with a latent swing. Will fall at the hands of Snap, but he's done his part, he's done enough, and the rest of the gang will mop that up. So Spirit never let Elevate take the lead. They kind of beat them back there over towards ramp with some well-placed nades, some good util, and nice impact from Shiro's AWP. There's that util, double crane nade coming in. Good time to do it as well, right? Like, that's the other thing. Up until now, Elevate have been pretty measured with how they approach ramp. It's not like they've been running up there and trying to take all the space.
Ramp smoke. Going to keep Elevate out of the forklift room, and Chopper actually pushes down off of it, so Spirit take a lot of control here. They need to enforce Donk on this B-bomb site. He is a great one-man army, but they have full ramp. They know this has to end B right now. Someone will peel back from middle. So Shiro's close by with the AWP. Donk feeling fine for now. There's no nades to put real pressure on Spirit. We've got to see this 1D find an opener, or the round may be dead in the water, as it should be. Spirit looking for double digits right now. Not the cleanest. Orb's turn. Shiro backs up.
And he's got reinforcements on the way. As you mentioned, they already locked ramp down earlier on, so Spirit feel very comfortable in knowing where this is ending up, and they hung around in mid for a bit. They haven't seen all the numbers down here towards B, but they feel pretty confident now, and this is just the B ramp play. Zontic's lends a helping hand, and he'll go on to farm up all these remaining kills. A nice hat trick from Zontix. This lead starts to widen. Spirit chaining together 2 rounds now, putting some distance between themselves and Elevate.
Even if it ends like this, I feel like Elevate have done more than many, most, maybe all expected. Maybe even themselves, but here's a buy round. See if they have anything left in the tank. I've liked how they've used middle. They've not been overplaying it, getting picks here a couple of times in this T side. 3 players walk out middle together. Oh my god, it's completely empty. Oh my goodness. They're going to flank Shiro. He might just be dead. He's not even looking. Back turn, free frag. And they know Donk will be here as well. That is a guarantee. Down on the stairs, Magix is running a rotate from elevator. They're just going to drop off, block, and find Donk.
Oh, they found him. They don't like what they see. Snav, dead man. Plant coming in the meantime, but this is rough in a way. You're kind of pincered between ramp and these players rotating in through middle. They start to fall one by one, and Dare is still far away from this site, moving out over through mid, but Magix is already on the bomb, and with that stick, he'll win the round. Spirit move up onto 11, and they never track Donk down. They never deal with him in that round.
He's in a real high-pressure position, but I love how Donk plays that. His team push in immediately, and he just runs through that stairs smoke. He doesn't let them box him in at bottom stairs. He comes to fight with Chopper in the site. Yeah, Snav, that's a round-winning kill, to be honest, if Snav can get Donk. They are set up for a post-plant. They have great control, but he didn't need to chase that kill there.
It's kind of a, you end up in a bit of a desperate spot. Like, you're planting the bomb, but you're open at every angle as you're doing it. You're worried about ramp, you're worried about mid. Spirit know the position they've got you in, and they're just collapsing down upon it.
Hey, they find the gap, but Spirit's reaction is perfect. Shiro back to ramp. Again, the flick doesn't connect. MRC finding an entry.
Chopper's re-aggressing here. That Molly's going to force them up onto the short side, and that's given Chopper a bit of a window to aggress down the ramp. He's only got a 1v1 here, but that Molly now fades, and they come back and they deal with Chopper. Magix and Donk are in hot water. Elevate want to claim themselves a 9th here and now, and a 5-on-2. It should be doable. Pro is willing to give Donk the benefit of the doubt in moments like this. Molly burns Magix alive, and for Donk, not even a round most players would look to attempt. He goes for a bit of a spam, and that's where Dare swings him. I think, there are moments where Spirit expect Elevate to be a bit more scared than they actually are, right?
Like 5v2, they don't drag it out. They just throw the smokes they commit.
And they're peeking over the top of default. They're looking for those fights. I think a lot of teams would just, you see Donk's alive, and on name alone, you're like, okay, let's just tuck in and play around the bomb. Let's just play safe here.
I don't think Spirit were expecting this from Elevate at all. Even that CT side, just some of the ways they started rounds, unorthodox was the word I used, like starting 3B, pushing for stairs, getting a kill, fast rotating, happy to re-aggress in mid-rounds. And making the most of this opportunity.
And I mean, if you've noticed as well, like, Elevate still are keen to take pretty up-tempo ramp control, but they're not going super fast, even though they are being given a decent degree of space, shall we say. And that's because of those nades a couple of rounds ago. Snap is walking right into him, and Zontix realizes first, gets out with a double.
Good Molly. And the AWP is here to cover as well, so swinging should be a death sentence. Shiro swaps sides. Reinforces Zontix with another Molotov. He's going to push further down. Shiro behind Zontix. Oh, no gun out right now. That Molly saves his life for now. Shiro's got a player trapped in the corner. Shiro is missing some shots on this ramp position. His score is great, but a missed trade yet again. He'll have to give it up. 3 CTs here. Spirit's still in control, but look at the utility available. They're just going to go dry.
Yeah, I don't love it, honestly. You've saved so much util for this point in the round, and I don't think that playing at contact gives you anything there. It's not like Spirit haven't rotated bodies over to this side of the map. Magic's dead, but Shiro's AWP still lays in wait. Util comes in. And that will at least get Shiro off of these angles, give a route to try and get this bomb planted, but there's that molly. And that buys Spirit all the time they need. Gonna try and break this smoke open, and that's where Donk finds him. The Spirit move on to map point.
As they always should have.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, the potential for the Elevate upset is slowly but surely going out the window.
They've had some rounds here, Harry. They've certainly had some rounds. Something to take home today. Yeah, I think that swing for peeping is the... Yeah, that's super questionable. Like, you have full util. You're not surprising them. They know they've given up rounds.
Yeah, that's like the biggest issue. It's not like you've hit some like crazy sick timing as they've just checked it and now they're falling back and they don't know that you're there. Like,
and Elevate's HEs and mollies have actually been pretty good. So he had molly HE. He can get a kill on boost. He can do something with that. Feels like a wasted opportunity. Jump over. Shiro doesn't fall for it. He knows an AWP peak is coming off of that play. Great awareness from Shiro. Doesn't bite the bullet, pull the trigger. And Elevate, a little less to work with now. Dare's got the AWP, Shane's on a deagle. Gonna try and walk for a ramp fight. Spirit conceding this with the AWP in mid, but that's something Elevate know about, so they know they've got ramp room. Up they go.
Jiggling this with the smoke, it's nerve-wracking. Zontics will drop that in nice and early. Magic's good angle over here in mid, but the AWP moves in, a missed shot from Dare on the AWP. And so mid is not going to be the answer here for Elevate. There might not be an answer to this one. This is around where the contact play up ramp is a bit nicer, but even then, Chopper's ready for it. They deal with Zontics over at short. They know there's a second man here. Out towards yellow, but there's still more util to come in for Spirit. They've just smoked off the short side, and with 20 seconds, time is running out for Elevate. They've just got to go. They've got to brute force this up the ramp. Snap is managing it. Couple of kills from the guy, but time is the problem, and Chopper puts them in caskets. Team Spirit lock it down in the 2-on-3. They put a stop to Elevate on Vertigo, and they move up one map closer to making their way to London.
There's this player named Penix, I think.
Patsy. Well, let's give it.
Q for Kickard.
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 Kickard. Red Star.
Roman. Ricker. I don't know how to say his name, the Australian guy. Rain.
Star. I think it's Star.
Shiro.
Simple.
S for Skulls.
Chi.
That's a hard one as well.
I have no idea. T. TMB? Tessus.
T for Tabson. Myself, I'll just hit myself. Just forgot for a second there.
There is a player, he's very old, but I'm gonna say Ubik. I'll skip it.
No, I cannot think of a single player. U for Ustillo. I also cannot think of any players. There has to be a V. Must be like a Viper or something.
V.
Venom Zero or something. Is that one? Just making stuff up.
Vinny.
Nah, cannot recall any players.
I have no idea.
Damn, I don't know a W either.
W or X?
Damn, actually these ones are hard. Does a coach count? Does that the player?
I don't know.
I don't know. Xtaz is the only one that I can think of.
Old player. It's okay. Zipnix.
Yuri.
Why? I have no idea. Nope, I can't think of anything.
Okay, Z, I got Zyphon. Z? Zau? No, I don't know.
Well, this was supposed to be a blowout. This was supposed to be easy, nice and quick, get us ahead of schedule. This wasn't even supposed to be a contest, Bubsky, but Elevate had other plans. That's not a bad showing whatsoever. Their CT side really felt like what let them down, because the T side, they were able to overrun this defense quite a few times.
I mean, we've seen Spirit being weak on this map particularly, but to this extent, I wouldn't have dared to set that Elevate is going to get 9 rounds against the likes of Spirit. It's a really weird situation for those guys because they're so dominating on some maps, and then all of a sudden we see a Vertigo coming this close.
Yeah, it's been kind of, I mean, that was the big exposure at the RMR, was that Vertigo just not a very strong map for them. But I mean, I would have expected their T side to struggle a little bit more, considering the ways you can lock things down on the entry with utility. Still, regardless, I mean, do you put this down mostly to the map that's being played, or do you look at this and say, man, you know, Elevate played one of those games where they weren't afraid of anything, they weren't really second guessing, trading was on point on the T side. They look like they weren't like kind of thrown off by the disparity at all.
That's the most important step as an underdog coming into this game, right? That is that you're gonna go into that game and not really be scared that it's Dunk all of a sudden peeking you, right? They've played a lot of pucks, these guys, together, and this kind of felt like one for them, in my opinion. They took the duels, they tried to play on the individual skill, which is kind of impressive considering that actually Shiro and Dunk was having a pretty good game on the individual side of things. So being able to contest to this amount of rounds against the world's best team is nothing but impressive, really.
And you have to imagine if you're Spirit, this has got to be a map that they've kind of identified after the RMR, and certainly maybe with a little bit of a rougher game here that they say, you know, this is a map we got to make sure that we have under control come
Yeah, I mean, I think Magisk said in an interview that they had a week's break, right? So that can also be a little bit of an interesting angle, but I think they've had time to get back into the pace, and they're all so good individually that it shouldn't really be a topic. But Elevate make them look not bad, but they look them to be pressured in certain situations.
Yeah, do you think it was Spirit might have been caught off guard a little bit by the amount of fight back they got? I mean, like you come into this and you know, players have that kind of attitude of you know, like we're so much better than this team. Like, you know, the whole concept was, let's just come in and play our game, play solid Counter-Strike, don't need to do anything fancy. And then all of a sudden they're getting kind of punched in the face.
Yeah, I mean, I think they played more intense than what Spirit might have expected. I remember some rounds where Shiro was in the middle holding the standard AWP angle, right? And then the guys from this T side is just jumping for him and like initially holding that angle. It's like they weren't too scared to play Counter-Strike. Sometimes we see the lesser team, they overcomplicate things a lot, like trying to throw a million flashes, nobody takes any space. But here they just do a jump, get the information, get the angle. It just shows you that they got these little tricks up their sleeves.
Yeah, we saw the scoreboard up earlier as well. Peeping had a good game. Snav had a good game as well. Those guys did some damage and were able to, excuse me, find some pretty cool kills.